2026 is staring you in the face, and I need you to understand something terrifying. Most people won't really live the next few years. They will simply exist. They will repeat the same year they just lived 10 times over and call it a life. They will tell the same stories, complain about the same problems, earn the same income, and struggle with the same habits. Then they will wonder why nothing changed. But you know better. You know that standing still is not neutral. Standing still is expensive. Every day that you wait for the right time is a day that time collects interest on the lessons you refuse to learn. The cost isn't visible right now. It shows up later, usually as regret. Regret for the chances you didn't take, the skills you didn't master, and the person you didn't become. The calendar is going to flip to 2026 whether you are ready or not. The question is, who will you be when it arrives? Because if your life doesn't change now, it probably never will. We are living in a world that is shifting under our feet. Artificial intelligence, economic fragmentation, the green transition, the rules of the game are being rewritten every single day. The skills that got you here won't get you there. In fact, nearly half of the essential skills you rely on right now will be obsolete or transformed within the next few years. That sounds scary, but it's actually the greatest opportunity of your lifetime if you wake up. I'm going to walk you through the things you must improve before 2026 arrives. Not just to survive the changes coming, but to dominate them. To build a life so strong, so resilient, and so purposeful that no external storm can shake you. But I need you to listen with your heart, not just your head. This isn't a lecture. This is a wake-up call for your potential. The first thing you must improve. The foundation of everything is your internal narrative. Specifically, the story you tell yourself every morning. You see, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask yourself and the statements you make to yourself. Most people wake up and immediately surrender their power. They reach for their phone. They scroll through the lives of others. They check the news. And they let the world dictate their mood before they've even brushed their teeth. They start the day in a state of reaction, not creation. You have to take complete control of your response to everything that happens to you. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control what AI will do to your industry, but you can control the conversation in your own head. When you wake up, you must declare that you are responsible for your own life and happiness. Responsibility isn't a burden, my friend. It is the greatest privilege you have. It is the price of admission to the club of people who actually get to design their own destiny. Stop blaming your boss. Stop blaming the government. Stop blaming your childhood. As long as you blame, you are a victim. But the moment you say, I am responsible, you become the architect. You must look in the mirror and tell yourself that your past does not define your future unless you decide to live there. You are not a finished product. You are a work in progress, constantly growing, constantly improving. Before 2026 comes, you need to rewire your brain to believe, truly believe that you deserve more. Because if deep down you don't believe you deserve it, you will sabotage every opportunity that comes your way. This leads us directly into the second thing. You must improve your focus. Because in this new world, attention is the new currency. We are drowning in noise. Distraction is the enemy of your potential. Most people try to fill a bucket that is full of holes. They pour in energy and time, but it all leaks out through distraction. You check your email, then Instagram, then the news, then back to email, and suddenly the day is gone. You were busy, but you weren't productive. You were moving, but you weren't climbing. To win in the next few years, you must rebuild your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. The world rewards specialists, not dabblers. It rewards the people who can block out the chaos and produce deep, meaningful work. Think of a laser versus a light bulb. Both use energy, but the light bulb scatters its energy and barely lights a room, while a laser concentrates it and can cut through steel. Be the laser. You have to stop letting technology use you and start using it to make your work smarter. AI is here, and it is taking over the repetitive logical tasks. That means your value, your human edge lies in the things machines cannot do. Creativity, complex problem solving, and deep focus. But you cannot be creative if you are constantly distracted. You cannot solve complex problems if your mind is jumping from notification to notification. You need to create blocks of time where the world cannot reach you. Silence helps you rebuild what the chaos destroys. If you want to be ahead in 2026, you need to master the art of doing less but doing it better. Simplify your life. Prune the noise. Because the person who can sit in a room and focus on one thing for 4 hours will run circles around the person who works for 12 hours while distracted. Now let's go deeper. The third thing you must improve is your emotional mastery. We are entering an era where high emotional intelligence (EQ) is not just a soft skill, it is a survival skill. As machines get smarter at logic, your ability to handle human emotion becomes your superpower. But you cannot lead others, you cannot collaborate, and you cannot influence if you cannot control yourself. Most people are slaves to their emotions. Someone cuts them off in traffic and they are angry for an hour. A client sends a rude email and their whole day is ruined. They give away their power to every little thing that happens. You must stop this. You must learn that between the stimulus and your response, there is a space. And in that space lies your freedom. Successful people have learned to pause in that space. They don't react, they respond. When you learn emotional control, you stop losing battles because of a careless word or a moment of anger. You become unshakable. Imagine waking up and knowing that no matter what happens, whether the market crashes or a plan fails or someone criticizes you, you will stay centered. That is power. This also means building resilience. The future is unpredictable. There will be economic shocks and technological disruptions. The only way to survive is to be like water, flexible, adaptable, agile. You cannot be fragile. When life hits you, you cannot break. You have to be able to look at a setback and ask, what is this trying to teach me, instead of, why is this happening to me? And listen, part of emotional mastery is letting go of the need to be perfect. The all or nothing mentality is a trap. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You just have to be consistent. You have to let go of the guilt of the past and the fear of the future and just own your present response. This brings me to the fourth critical improvement: your physical and mental vitality. You cannot build a skyscraper on a swamp. You cannot build a 2026 legacy on a broken body. Your energy is the foundation of all your performance. If your body is tired, your mind is dull. If your mind is dull, your decisions are slow. And in a fast world, slow is expensive. Too many of you are ignoring the signals your body is sending you. You feel the fatigue, the aches, the persistent stress, and you push through it. You wear your exhaustion like a badge of honor, but let me tell you a brutal truth. The body keeps the score. You might think you're getting away with it, but eventually the bill comes due. Dr. Cindy Gaiaris, a surgeon, ignored chest pain at 52 years old because she thought she was healthy. She ended up with a coronary dissection. She ignored the signal. Don't let that be you. Stop skipping the preventative care because you're too busy. You are not too busy to stay alive. You need to treat your energy like capital. Invest it wisely. Sleep is not a luxury. It is the reset button for your brain. Nutrition is not just about weight. It is fuel for your focus. Movement is not just about looks. It is about circulating energy and strengthening discipline. And do not neglect your mental health. The brain and the body are deeply connected. Stress, anxiety, and burnout are real, and they are rising. In some high-pressure industries, burnout rates are 4 times higher than average. You have to let go of the stigma. Take yourself on a solo date. Meditate, walk in nature. Do whatever you need to do to protect your peace. Because if you burn out before 2026, all your plans, all your goals, all your ambition, it amounts to nothing. A tired body cannot support a hungry dream. Now, we must talk about the engine that drives all of this. The fifth improvement is your habits and discipline. Motivation is a lie. It is a fair weather friend. It's there when the sun is shining and you feel good. But the moment the storm comes, motivation disappears. You cannot rely on it. You must build discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Your life today is essentially the sum of your habits. How you spend your days is how you spend your life. If you want to know where you will be in 2026, look at what you did today. Did you read? Did you exercise? Did you work on your skills? Or did you drift? You don't drift toward success, you drift toward failure. You drift toward average. Success requires intention. It requires a system. You need to build habits so strong that progress becomes your default setting. Start small. Don't try to change everything overnight. That's a recipe for failure. Pick one habit. Maybe it's waking up an hour earlier to buy yourself 15 extra days of life a year. Maybe it's reading 10 pages a day. Maybe it's the don't break the chain method, where you put an X on the calendar every day you complete your task, and your only goal is to not break the chain. Consistency beats intensity every single time. The person who walks a mile every day goes further than the person who runs a marathon once and then quits for a month. Water dripping on a stone doesn't look like much, but over time, it cuts through rock. That is the power of habit. And let me share a secret about discipline. It creates freedom. People think discipline is a cage, but it is actually the key. If you are disciplined with your money, you are free from financial stress. If you are disciplined with your health, you are free from disease. If you are disciplined with your skills, you are free from the fear of losing your job. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. But you cannot walk this bridge alone. If you are surrounded by people who are trying to burn it down, this is the sixth thing you must improve. Your social circle. You have heard it 1,000 times, but have you actually done it? You are the average of the people you spend the most time with. Your life will always rise or fall to the level of your environment. If you hang around 5 broke people, you will be the 6th. If you hang around 5 complainers, you will be the 6th. But if you hang around 5 people who are growing, who are ambitious, who are disciplined, you will be the 6th. You need to audit your circle. Who is draining your energy? Who is feeding your doubts? Who is making you comfortable with mediocrity? It is time to prune. You don't have to be mean, but you have to be protective. You have to protect your potential like a fortress. Find people who challenge you. Find people who are talking about ideas, not other people. Find people who are planning their future, not glorifying their past. In the age of digital connection, you have no excuse. You can learn from mentors you have never met. You can surround yourself with greatness through books, podcasts, and communities. Because here's the truth. You can have the best seed in the world, but if you plant it in toxic soil, it will not grow. You are the seed. Your environment is the soil. If you want to bloom by 2026, you might need to transplant yourself. We are halfway through the list. And I hope you are feeling the weight of this. I hope you are realizing that the gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't as big as you think, but it requires choices, hard choices. Let's move to the 7th crucial improvement, your financial intelligence and strategy. Money is a mirror. It reflects your habits, your discipline, and your thinking. If you cannot manage a little, you will never be able to manage a lot. Before 2026, you must stop trading your peace for pleasure. We live in a world designed to make you spend. It is designed to make you feel empty. So you will buy things to fill the void, but you can't buy your way to peace. You need to face your numbers. Awareness is the first step. Track every dollar. It's shocking how quickly a coffee here and a subscription there can bleed you dry. You need a budget, not to restrict you, but to give every dollar a job. And listen, the old rules of money are changing. In 2026, you need to understand more than just saving. You need to understand value. You need to understand that inflation is eating your savings if they are just sitting under a mattress. You need to automate your investments. Pay yourself first. Even if it is a small amount, the compound interest on your habits will make you wealthy. Debt is a shackle. It limits your options. It makes you a servant to the past. Attack your bad debt like your life depends on it. Use the snowball method. Pay off the smallest ones first to get a psychological win, or the avalanche method to save interest. Just get moving. But beyond just saving and paying debt, you must invest in your own earning power. This leads to the 8th thing: you must improve your skill stack and AI literacy. I mentioned focus earlier, but what are you focusing on? The marketplace does not pay for effort, it pays for value. And value comes from solving problems. In 2026, AI literacy will not be a tech skill. It will be a core professional skill just like reading and writing. You cannot be afraid of it. You need to move from fear to fluency. Learn how to use these tools to amplify your creativity, not replace it. But don't just learn tech, double down on the things AI cannot do. Analytical thinking, complex problem solving, leadership, social influence. These are the skills that will make you indispensable. You need to be learning something new every single day. If you improve just 1% a day, you are 37 times better by the end of the year. Think about that. 37 times better. Most people stop learning the day they leave school. That is why they stagnate. That is why they fear the future. But the most successful people are lifelong learners. They read, they attend seminars, they are curious. They know that their education is their highest priority because no one can take it away from them. You can lose your job, you can lose your money, but you cannot lose what you know. So ask yourself, what skills will be needed in 2026? What is the future you doing? And are you practicing those skills today? Talent is potential, but skill is proof. Don't just wish for a better job, become a better candidate. Now pause for a moment, take a breath. All of these things, mindset, focus, emotion, health, habits, environment, finance, skills, they are the bricks. But you need a blueprint. You need to know what you are building. This brings us to the ninth improvement, your vision and goal setting systems. A person with no vision drifts. They go where the wind blows, and the wind usually blows towards nowhere good. You need to know where you are going. Vision answers the question where. Purpose answers the question why. You cannot just say, I want to be rich or I want to be happy. That is too vague. You need clarity. Clarity simplifies life. When you know exactly what you want, saying no to distractions becomes easy. Use the SMART method if you have to. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, timely, but more importantly, make your goals meaningful to you. Don't live someone else's dream. Don't chase a goal just because it looks good on Instagram. If you climb the ladder of success only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall, you have wasted your life. Write your goals down. People who write their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them. Break them down. You can't eat an elephant in one bite. You need sub-goals. You need milestones. And understand this. Vision isn't fantasy. It is seeing the finished structure before the foundation is laid. It is walking by faith, not by sight. When you have a clear vision, the obstacles don't stop you. They just force you to find a new route. We are almost there. We have covered the internal work, the physical work, the social work, and the strategic work. But there is one final piece, the piece that holds it all together. The piece that most people miss because they are too busy looking for a shortcut. The 10th, and perhaps the most terrifying improvement you must make before 2026 is your capacity for radical execution and accountability. I told you there was a piece that holds it all together. This is it. You can have the perfect vision, the highest emotional intelligence, the best social circle, and the most detailed financial plan, but without the ability to pull the trigger, you are nothing more than a dreamer with a notebook full of lies. Ideas are cheap. Execution is priceless. The world is filled with brilliant people who are broke and unhappy because they are waiting for the perfect moment to start. But let me tell you something that Jack Ma, a man who faced rejection after rejection, understood deeply. There is no perfect time. If you wait until you are ready, you will be waiting for the rest of your life. Most people live in the gap between I should and I did. That gap is where dreams go to die. To bridge that gap, you must improve your relationship with action. You need to stop viewing action as something you do only when you feel motivated. Motivation is a fair weather friend. It leaves you when the storm comes. You must build a bias for action. This means doing the thing before your brain has time to talk you out of it. It means understanding that action creates momentum, not the other way around. You don't feel your way into acting. You act your way into feeling. And this requires a brutal level of accountability. You need to look in the mirror and stop lying to the person staring back at you. We are experts at rationalizing our own mediocrity. We tell ourselves we are researching when we are actually procrastinating. We tell ourselves we are resting when we are actually hiding. Accountability means owning the result, good or bad. It means facing the numbers, facing the scale, facing the rejection letters. Accountability is the bridge between intention and achievement. If you want to be unrecognizable by 2026, you must stop looking for someone to save you. No coach, no mentor, no boss can do your push ups for you. You are the